wide. Got it. Hold on. This is our first district-wide ever hybrid training meeting. We've had them in person, we've had them online. This is the first time we're having them together. You can see the folks that are joining us on Zoom, and we've got a full house. Hopefully the Zoom folks can see. Where's your camera, Diane? Okay, I don't see your camera on there.
The tile says District 5817.
Where are you?
It's just.
You can see it back in your head.
Well, that's me.
Top row.
Top row,
Yes.
second from the
Second
left.
from the left.
No, that's me.
You're the
I
one
don't know
looking
where,
behind.
I want them to be able to see the room. Okay, I didn't know where it was.
You can
To
move
see,
the tile up front if you want to.
It's fine.
yeah, okay. All right,
We're gonna turn one of the lights off because we can't see.
all right, if you can, I don't, yeah. All right, so we've got people on Zoom, we've got people here, again, on Zoom. Everybody has got their name, got their club name. We're gonna take just a minute as we go around the room. I'll start with the Zoom folks. You just introduce yourself to the folks here, and I would like to know if you are your club president or if you are your club membership chair, if you can so announce. So let's get started with Brenda. You go, and just whoever's next.
Okay, Brenda Austin, Rotary Club of Austin Southwest. I am the president-elect and the public image chair, and just wanting to learn more about membership. Morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm Stan Barnes from Austin Southwest. I am membership chair, past president.
I'm Rick Collins from South Austin. I'm president-elect.
I'm Karen Wilson. I'm from Georgetown Club. I'm an assistant governor. I just wanted to learn more about membership to help my clubs.
I'm Jim
Tammy
Darden.
All right,
Sorry.
ladies first. Go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, I'm Tammy Hefner. I am president-elect and membership chair. I'm in Marble Falls.
Okay, Jim.
Jim Darden, West Austin, and I'm membership chair this year for this club.
And Jerry.
Good morning, all. I'm Jerry Schwartzman. I'm membership chair from Rotary Club Killeen Heights.
Shirley.
Shirley Diepenbrock, secretary from South Austin Rotary.
All right, and Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth Long of Austin Southwest, and I'm the assistant membership chair.
All right, and Jessica. You with us, Jessica?
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Okay, Jessica may not be with us. Jessica is with the Round Rock Club. All right, did I get everybody on Zoom? If you didn't talk, say something.
Hey, Jim. I'm Kent Bowles, and I'm on the district membership committee
Okay,
and with E-Club.
we can't see everybody. Is there a way to make it where we can see everybody?
Another screen.
Okay. I thought it showed 25, but
Oh, there's it.
okay.
There's Kent.
There's Kent, so we got Kent. Did I miss anybody else? We did Tammy. Okay. We're working on this. Karen introduced herself. Karen, say yourself again. They missed you.
Hi, I'm Karen Wilson. I'm with the Rotary Club of Georgetown. I'm an assistant governor, and I'm here today to learn some new things to help my clubs.
All right, now you folks on Zoom, if you'll see you can hear the folks, I think, as they talk. But I'm gonna go around the room really quick to get started. I'll introduce myself. I'm Jim Henry. I'm the district membership chair this year, past district governor from 2019, 2020. So Diane.
I'm Diane Edwards, and I'm president of the Austin North Metro Passport Club and on the membership committee for the district.
Okay, Governor, we'll go with you. Just introduce yourself and what club you're with. Rex?
No, Rex Weaver, Rankin, Texas, president-elect, membership chair.
Christoph Long, Temple Club for the South Temple Club and membership chair with President Patrick. President Patrick, Temple South.
All right.
John Penny, Passport Club, membership chair.
Nancy Ray, West Austin. President. Marie Christopher, membership chair. Becky Brightfogel, Northwest Austin, membership chair.
Jackie Williamson, Georgetown, Texas.
Okay.
Gary Harris, Northwest Austin, here Lord.
I'm Garrett. South. Immediate past president.
Charles Schwarzman, Clean Heights Rotary, here to learn. Dennis Brown, membership chair, Rotary Club of Georgetown.
Wendy Elman, Round Rock Sunrise, president.
And Round Rock Sunrise treasurer.
Eric Armstrong, Hospital Code, treasurer, past president.
Rod Henry, Temple, immediate past president and district membership.
Mickey McLaughlin, Sun City Rotary Club president, and I want to know why Karen Wilson is home in her pajamas.
I'll let you take up that with Karen next Friday at noon. Yeah.
Hi, Mickey.
Danny Hay, Round Rock, president,
Okay, we got everybody introduced. I'm gonna,
except our guys on the side.
oh, yeah.
Hey, Patrick, what's up? John Freely, Northwest Austin Rotary, president-elect, and helping the baby. This is my daughter, Lilia. Also help with it.
And I gotta really thank Josh. As I said, this is our first time doing something like this. And if it's a success, it's all Josh. If it's a failure, it's all me. So, well, I hope the heck this really works and everybody has a good time. Diane's also helping from the technical aspect. Are you waving? I thought you were telling me to do
No,
something.
I'm just waiting on the camera.
All right, now I need to. I want to, how do I, help me? I want to get rid of the screen.
Okay.
Oh, there we are. Okay. There you go, just minimize it.
Somebody monitor chat.
Yes.
Yes,
I'll get rid of this so that it's not nagging.
okay, so what we're gonna do, this is your seminar. This is not my seminar. This is not the district seminar. This is your seminar. We're gonna do it a little different than what we've heard, what we've done in the past. As we go along, if you have questions, just ask. You folks on Zoom, if you have questions, put it in the chat. Diane's kind of monitoring the chat, and we'll get to everybody's questions. This is not going to be so much a presentation as it is a facilitation. I'm not real good at PowerPoints and things like that. You guys probably know that. It's kind of like, everybody remember who Darrell Royal is? Longtime UT coach. They asked him, why don't you pass more? He said when you pass the ball, there's 3 things that can happen. 2 of them are bad. That's kind of the way I feel about PowerPoints and things. You know, there's 2 or 3 things that can happen. Most of them are bad. So if it works, it works. But I've got some slides and we're going to talk about a few things, but this is not really a presentation. This is more of a facilitation of ideas, of thoughts, of things that you guys can take back to your clubs and make it work. Because that's what we're here for. We're not here to, as a district membership committee or as a district, to tell you what to do. We want you to tell us what you want us to do to help you. That's what the district's here for. So this is going to be a little different as to, hopefully it will help you to know what's best for your club. I'm gonna give you a secret. The secret formula for everyone to make a club grow. There isn't one. There is not one thing that District Governor Shannon can do. There's not one thing that I can do. There's not one thing that anybody on the district membership committee can do to make your club grow. You have to do that. The club has to make itself grow. And that all has to do with the culture of the club. And if you really want to grow your club. Now, we're here to help. We're going to throw out some ideas today. You're going to throw ideas back at me. It's not like you're out totally on your own. But there is no magic formula. There's not a checklist that we can give you that says, if you do this, your club's going to grow. It just doesn't work that way. It's up to each individual club. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about the rest of the day here, but also as we go throughout this year of trying to make our clubs grow. Okay, there we go. Okay, these are some definitions that came down from Rotary International. Can I move that talking thing down at all, Josh? Or not?
Move to the bottom of the screen.
There we go.
It'll hide if you check the chat. It's just showing you that there's a chat message.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if we just close that, now see it'll hide back up there.
All right.
Would you prefer it on the bottom of the screen?
No, that's good. That's
That's good?
good. Yeah.
Okay. Just know that if it pops back out.
Okay, all right. We're getting there. We're learning. We're learning. We're learning. Give us a little time. Here's some definitions that Rotary International talks about membership. Membership is the means to accomplish Rotary's mission and goal. This is the key to it. Every Rotarian has the privilege and the obligation to seek other qualified Rotarians. Knowing the difference between inviting somebody to be a member and inviting somebody to be a Rotarian is essential. So that's going to be a kind of a theme. It's not a membership, it's a Rotarian thing. Be a Rotarian, not a member. Make sense? Okay. Well, I want the screen moved, Josh. There we go. Okay. Never know what you have to do. First thing we're going to talk about is just our team. I am the chair. Jeff Coleman, who's not with us, he's out with his wife, District Governor Shannon, doing what district governors and their spouses do. Jason Duckworth is on the membership committee. You've met Diane Edwards, who is on our membership committee. Kent Bowles is on our membership committee. You met him online. Jim Darden is on our membership committee. You met him online. The newest member is cousin Rod over here, Rod Henry from Temple, who's also part of the membership committee. These folks are here to help. You'll notice by each name, it's kind of got a thing. Like I'm the chair, RI leads. Jeff is the club liaison and all these different things. What we've done this year is to try to give each member of the membership committee an area of focus, if you will, where they'll be talking about different things. That's going to be their job, is to deal with retention, deal with club flexibility, deal with club growth. We're going to try to have each member of the membership committee concentrate on that one area. Now we're here to help everybody all along. A lot of times you're kind of used to, when we do these membership seminars, we'll have discussions of retention and what Rotary says about that. We'll have discussion of what's in the Learning Center about membership. We'll have discussions about the different kind of clubs. And that's great. We're going to do all that, but we're not going to do it today. We're going to talk about different things today. What we're going to have, starting in hopefully next month, will be on the district website, and hopefully everybody will get an email. We're going to have what we're going to call a membership moment, where we will give you a little, like I'll do the first one, and I'm going to tell you about what RI leads are. Some of you know what they are, some of you don't know what they are. But we'll talk about that. Diane's gonna write, she doesn't know this yet, but Diane's gonna write a little article about Diane being our education chair, about what you can learn from not only the district website, but the Rotary website, the different places. We maybe have a couple of those. Kent Bowles is in our E-Club. He's going to talk about different kinds of clubs and club flexibility. So we're going to try to address a lot of these things that sometimes we do at these membership seminars each month. So kind of watch your emails, go to the district website and look for those kind of things. That kind of makes sense? Okay. All right, a couple of dates. We're here, so that's good. You're here. You've got a passion for membership. A couple of dates we're going to have in March. We'll have another one of these things. Patrick's here. Last year in the spring, we did a combination seminar with public information and membership. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that again this year. What'd I say? Oh, public image. I'm sorry, public image and membership. And a lot of people really like that. I don't know if you all attended that one. It was really good with Pat Satterwhite, and Patrick and Amber did a great job putting it on. So we're going to try to do that again, and maybe that month or maybe a different time. The other thing I want you to, and it's coming up pretty soon, we're calling it a new member orientation. Now, do not get this confused with your club's new member orientation. If you have a club new member orientation or education, whatever you do when you bring in a new member, it has nothing to do with that. This is not taking the place of it. It's not in lieu of it. Continue to do what you do. We did this during Rick Stacy's year. We didn't do it last year, but Diane helped me so much. I got to tell you, Diane is invaluable. Diane's a past district governor from 5630, which is up in Nebraska, and she's come home to visit with us. Diane, among her other things, she's also president of the, hello, did I do that? She's also president of the Passport Club this year, among her other things. But Diane, for the last 3 years, along with Debbie High, have been the Rotary coordinator for our paired zones or our region. What that simply means is for 23 districts that go from Canada down to the Texas border, she was in charge of membership. So she knows more about membership than I will ever know. And so she is invaluable, especially on the education thing. So if I don't know it, which there's a lot I won't know. If I won't know it, Diane will know it. But what we're doing on this new member orientation thing, it's going to be via Zoom. This is a district new member orientation. Maybe we ought to just call it a district member orientation, because this may be good not just for new members that have joined in, say, the last year or so, but for some longtime Rotarians that don't know. The intent of this thing is to give you a more rounded Rotary experience. That is, you're going to learn about the structure of Rotary International. You're going to learn about how it's there. You're going to learn about the difference between Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation. How many of you know that those are two separate organizations? They're two separate entities that do two separate things. So we say Rotary, it includes them all. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the district structure. Why is there a district? I've had some people in my club, Becky, not you, or Jerry back there, in my club that have been members for a long time. And I've tell them, well, the AG for our club is, say, oh, I didn't know we had an attorney general in our club. I mean, literally, there are people that don't know what the district does. They don't know why the district exists. You get an invoice from your club and you don't know what that covers. And we're going to talk about things like that. So it'll give you a little more well-rounded, hopefully, view of Rotary, the overall structure, to give you, this is to let you know that Rotary exists outside of your club. We're going to talk about district events to go to and ways to make you a totally well-rounded Rotarian and give you the full Rotary experience. Now, there's one other thing that's going to be new this year. We're going to call them cluster meetings. The presidents know about this. What we're going to do is we're going to take the clubs, and most of our clubs have opted in to do this. We say 7 clusters of 8 each. That's if everybody does it, where it may vary a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put you together with clubs that are similar to your size and similar to your locale, but more similar in culture. Locale is probably gonna be the third range of it. And when I say this, I'm talking about clubs that are, say, rural type clubs that have 20 members. Now, that may be Hillsborough and that may be Shiner. And they're not anywhere near each other, but they may come together. Because what we're trying to do, how many of you are presidents or have been presidents before? And on Zoom, I can't see you, but raise your hand if you've been a president. You remember Pets? Remember going to Pets?
Yeah.
Remember what they do on Saturday at Pets? They pair you in a group with clubs that are your size to talk about issues at a club of your size. You got a club of 20 is going to have a lot different issues than a club of 150, all right? So what we're trying to do, what we're going to do is put clubs that are similar in culture, similar in size, and maybe similar in locale together. And what we want to do is have a frank discussion, and I mean frank. It's just going to be me and maybe a member of the district committee. It's going to be Zoom. We want to hear from you. What we have heard a lot, Shannon's heard it, I heard it when I was governor, that, you know, all this stuff sounds good, but I'm a club over here, and that doesn't affect me. That doesn't help me a bit. What we want to know is what we can do to help. What you want us, if you want us to help. If you're happy with where you are, so be it. You know, we'll leave you alone. But this is to be an open and frank discussion among a small group of folks to try to understand what you need. And I'm hoping one of the side effects of this will be you'll get to know these other clubs and maybe you can share ideas. And if you're fairly close, or even if you're not, you can collaborate. Maybe you can do a service project together. Ooh, how cool would that be? So this is trying to get the clubs to know each other in a big setting like this. I know sometimes people don't want to ask questions or they don't want to say something that, I don't know if I ought to say that or not. But hopefully that's what this is for. So we're going to start those things probably the end of September, may go into the first part of October, but we're going to start them. We're going to have, they're going to last not real long, 45 minutes to an hour. You'll get a Zoom link it's going to be a Zoom, so you don't have to go anywhere. This may crater, who knows? But I'm hopefully that this will give a way for you, for clubs that are similar in culture and in size, to share their ideas, to share their challenges, to share their thoughts, and more importantly, to let us as district folks know, what do you need? It's not, again, we're not trying to tell you what you need. We want you to tell us what you need.
Chat question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do just presidents attend this or the whole club?
What this is going to be is to make it a smaller thing. We're going to invite the presidents and the club membership chair. And whatever you come up with, whatever you want to share with your club is fine. It's not going to be a full-blown district-wide event. Again, the concept is to try to keep it small so that we can have a good group of folks that get to know each other, that can really share ideas. You can vent. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to report back to District Governor Shannon. Did you know what? No, we're not. This is for you to vent or to talk or have an open and frank discussion. So we're going to try to make it a little smaller group. And then it'll be up to you club presidents and you club membership chair to go back to your clubs and say, hey, we got some ideas, we got some thoughts, and share it with them if you want to do that. Okay, is that good enough?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to get started on that. So we're going to get going. We're going to, the theme is what? Grow Rotary, right? We've all heard that. So I want you guys to tell me when we say grow Rotary, what do you think? What's your thought? What's a word that pops in your mind? Marie?
Grow Rotarians.
There you go.
I mean, we have lots of members, but we need Rotarians.
What for you on Zoom, if you didn't hear it, what Marie Christopher said was her word is grow Rotarians, that we have a lot of members, but maybe we don't have enough Rotarians. What's another word that you would think? Yes, ma'am.
I think of diversity, because one of the things that I would really like to see in our club is to grow age diversity as well as racial diversity.
Right, we're talking diversity. The next word that we came up with was diversity. Anybody on Zoom got a word they want to say?
TED Talks.
Say again?
TED Talks.
TED Talks. Okay, I understand that. Everybody knows what a TED Talk is? Okay, Kathy? Engagement. And these are all, I'm gonna keep it some time. These are all great. What I want to, and it's amazing what you came up with.
I want to share one more thing.
Yes.
You gotta share what Rotary is. You gotta share why.
The why of Rotary. The why of Rotary. What y'all came up with is what I want. Why is my internet connection unstable? Hopefully it won't go away. That's why I have Josh. The things that you came up with are great. Rotary buzzwords. These are some of the buzzwords that you hear all the time when you go to Rotary events, when you go to Rotary training, grow Rotary, engage members, make your club relevant, diversify membership. So, what do these things really mean? What we need to do is make these more than just words. We need to make these more than just theories. We need to figure out how to get these things, put them into action. So Marie, you were really reading my mind. Grow Rotary does not mean increasing our numbers. Does not mean increasing our numbers. We're not trying to be a country club. We're not trying to be a gym. We're not trying to just get our membership numbers up there so it'll look good. Increase quality versus quantity. Wonderful. What we want to do is, increasing our numbers, just getting more people in your club. Is that going to work in the long run? Probably not. Do what? Say again.
They come in and then they leave.
They come in and then they leave. We need not only to add folks to our rosters or to our clubs, but we need to make them Rotarians and not just members, just what Marie said. And everybody said, we need to make them, and we can say that real good, but how do we do that? We're going to try to hopefully help you get into that as we go. What we want is, and what you should want is Rotary to be a lifetime commitment. Now, growing Rotary and growing Rotarians, we talk about membership. Normally we think about new members, right? Well, there is so much more to membership than new members or new Rotarians. When you think of membership, I want you to think of not only bringing in new folks, but I want you to think about retaining the folks that you have. We really don't have a membership problem. We bring in new members by the droves. What we have more than anything is a retention problem. We lose them by the droves. I'm going to show you some figures in a minute. But over the last few years, an example, we may bring in 200 new members to our district this year. We're probably going to lose about 250. So we lose more than we bring in. So, so retention is something we want to deal with. It's also, how many people went through COVID? Yeah. How many people lost members because of COVID?
Well, we lost because they weren't engaged.
That's what I mean. They're not there. So that's good. That's good. Your club gained members. We started new clubs. But for those of you that lost members during COVID, where are they now? Maybe you look, they joined Rotary for some reason to start with. Maybe you go through your list and think about, Joe and Sally and Fred and Susie, they left because of COVID. There wasn't anything to do. They got unengaged. So maybe that's somebody that you can look at to grow Rotary or grow your Rotarians. So how do we engagement? how do we engage our members? And we're gonna get into this later, but somebody a lot smarter than me told me one time that what your members need is three things. They need an education. In other words, they need to know all there is to know about Rotary. They need to have Rotary shared to them, as Patrick said, by others. They need to know all there is to know to be a full well-rounded Rotary experience. Secondly, give them a job. Give everybody in your club something to do at your club meetings. If you have the same person that introduced guests every week, change it up. Maybe you have a different person. If you have, and I know this is some of the clubs are gonna say, I can't do that because we've got the guy that gives a joke every week and that's his job. Well, maybe you could bring in a couple of 3 jokesters, give somebody else a job. Have somebody, meet them at the front door. Give everybody, I don't care if you're a club of 7 or if you're a club of 200. If people are felt welcome when they come in the door, they may get a little more engaged. But give people a job because it makes them kind of feel, who wants to just come to a Rotary meeting, sit in the corner, listen and go home? If you say, hey, we'd like you to do this, people will feel a little bit more special. And lastly, or the third thing is give them a friend. And that may sound a little corny, but what I mean by that is when you've got a new member or you've got a member that's missed sometime, have a group that can contact those folks. Hopefully it could be their sponsor, whoever brought them in, but it may not be. Past District Governor Barry Curley, who many of you know, told me one thing, that there's a couple of 3 different kinds of Rotarians. There's hunters and gatherers, and there's harvesters. The hunter-gatherers are good at bringing people in, but they're not real good at mentoring as they go along. That's what the harvesters do. So your sponsor may not be a good mentor, not mean they're not a good person, but that means that you may need somebody else. So if you can give them a friend, let them know that we miss you. If they're not if they're not at a meeting, where are they? Just give them an education, give them a job, give them a friend. Relevancy. Most people leave Rotary when you really talk to them. Why'd you leave Rotary? It wasn't what they told me it was going to be. I thought I was going to do this, but I'm not. So again, this is being recorded. So and you'll be able to go to the district website and find it, but take notes or pictures as you will. These are kind of some bullet points that have to do with making your club relevant. The third one I like, reevaluate how you do some things. If you've been trying to gain new members for years and years and years and you're not, well, just stop what you're doing. Find another way. Reevaluate some of the things. One I heard at a district conference one time, somebody said sometimes you got to kill the sacred cow. Things that you've been doing for years and years and years may not work anymore. So you need to get with your club. This is where the clubs come in. You got to get with your club and try to reevaluate some of the things that maybe you've been doing in the past to see if they're really, really going to work in the future. And was mentioned the last one, you mentioned diversity. And that's great. Our clubs need to be more diverse in age, gender, ethnicity, and other things. And Rotary stresses that. And why does Rotary stress that? Is it just because we want to be politically correct? Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yeah, the comment was being more diverse has to do with relevancy. That if your club is more relevant, then the diversity will come along.
And your projects that you work on should reflect the community needs. If the members of your club are emotionally tied to those service projects, then it's something that's self-fulfilling. That you've got people that are engaged, they're doing things in the community, making a difference. And naturally, you just keep at it.
Exactly right. So we're not doing it any, do we have any comments from here,
No.
from the group? Okay. Everybody still awake on Zoom? Y'all awake? Hello? Okay. So, yeah, and the diversity, when Rotary doesn't stress diversity just to be politically correct, you know, or your club should represent the makeup of your community. Whether you're in a rural town of 1,000 or whether you're in metropolitan Austin, Waco, Temple, whatever, look around your community. Your club needs to reflect the makeup of your community. And that may be different for every club. That may be different. You may not have a area that you can get one of these other things where, oh, we've got to just grow in this. That may not be what your community is. So just evaluate your community and see what you can do. So right now we're going to do our first breakout session. How many we got here? Let's see, we got.
I've got 15, so I'm putting together 3 rooms.
Okay, on Zoom. Okay, you Zoom, talk about Zoom first. Zoom, you're gonna have 5 in each. Okay. Zoom folks, if you can hear me, Diane's gonna send you in just a few minutes to random breakout set rooms. You're gonna be 5 of you in a room. And I want you to talk about the buzzwords that we talked about. Let me go back one. How did I go back? Talk about some of these buzzwords, especially the last 3: engaging members, making your club relevant, diversify membership. Talk about that and how you can make that done in your club. Here I want, like these, we'll have 4 breakout sessions here. The first 2 rows here, you guys get together, and if you want on the front row, if you want to just turn around and talk with them, and Marie and y'all's row, turn around and talk to those folks behind you. You guys turn around and you guys turn around and talk to this. We're going to take about 15 minutes on this, and you'll be timed. Before we get started, don't talk yet. Don't talk. Hey, don't talk. Don't. One other instruction. I'm going to want you guys to tell us what you've come up with. And so I'm going to ask for some volunteers. So when you get together in your group, when you get together in your group, kind of ask for a spokesperson. And in order for everybody to hear, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get you to come up here and talk about what your group came up with. We're not going to have everybody talk because there's obviously going to be a lot of overlap and a lot of the same ideas, but we want to share our ideas about how these buzzwords are not just words. They're not just theories, but how can you really put these things in action in your club? So don't send me, but if you can send everybody else, Diane.
I'm ready.
All right, you're on your way. See you later.
Some of these people are moving out slowly. I'm just watching to see, we're all, Bill Schreier is still.
Don't they automatically go?
They do, but they're slow sometimes.
Okay. I've been trying to repeat what people say.
You did good on that.
Yeah, I know somebody made a comment about that.
Okay, Bill Schreier is unsigned. He must have gotten, you're having to sign him too. Okay, so he, after I set up the rooms, he joined, so. He's gone now, so they're in for 15 minutes, and they'll get a 30-second countdown. You want me to send a message to you and say 2 minutes left or something like that?
Yeah, and maybe as part of that message, just send them a, don't forget to have a spokesperson.
Yeah. Good idea.
I think you guys are doing good. I think it's going smooth, so I'm gonna probably bail out. Okay. Feel confident? I do. Okay.
Why is that saying?
It has something to do with this internet signal here. We don't have.
Well, it may not actually be all. If anybody in the Zoom has difficult internet connection, it'll pop that up. So it may not necessarily be us. We may be streaming just fine to everybody except for one person. And that's the one person who's having a problem. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But it could be related to the library. Yeah, okay. If they'll start complaining, right? They'll start putting in the chat.
How do I get rid of this? Are they back?
We're back.
Everybody back? Everybody back? Oh, okay. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break in just a little bit. So we're gonna take a break in about 10 minutes. So we need everybody back together. Are you there, Zoom folks? Are y'all back?
Yep.
We're back.
Yes,
Are
we're
they
here.
saying? All right. Okay. Attention, attention, please. Patrick, hush, hush. I know, I don't want to. All right, well, we're going to take a few minutes as we're going to discuss what a couple of you talked about. I'm not going to call on everybody. We don't have the time to go through 7 breakout sessions, and there'll be a lot of repetition. But I'm going to pick on a couple of folks, let me ask first of all, from the 3 breakout rooms that were on Zoom, and I'm going to ask Diane if she'll monitor this. Do we have a volunteer? Either the room Jerry you were in, or Stan that you were in, or anybody else, Karen, what you were in, do we have a volunteer to talk about what y'all talked about? If not, I'm gonna call on one of you.
Well, I think our group number 3 had a couple of good ideas that I haven't heard yet.
Okay, introduce yourself so everybody can know who we are.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Jim, you want me to go ahead?
Can you share?
Yeah, let me, hold on just one second. Can I just stop sharing and then come back to it?
If you do, no, you want to go to view. and
Hold
you
on
want
just a
to go
second.
To speaker view.
Okay, I'm back. I'm lost. Hold on just a second. We'll get there. Where is that? Is it down here? Oh, it's down here. There it is.
Speaker view.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Let me see if I can move this up a little bit, get everybody involved. Okay. All right, I need people, can y'all turn your videos on, or is that me?
Can you clear the screen, Jim?
That's where I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
The internet's on.
Okay,
Is Karen talking?
hold on just a second. Karen, are you talking?
I can when you're ready. Can you
I'm
hear
not
me?
sure why, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure why I'm not seeing everybody's face. Do you? Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me, Jim?
It's just repopulating. It'll take a minute. Okay. Go ahead, Karen. Tell us what your group came up with.
Okay, so can you hear me okay? So everyone agrees that engagement is
Yes.
important. Okay, everyone agreed that engagement is important, give them a job. One of the things I heard, instead of calling folks mentors, they could be ambassadors. And maybe if you have a group of people that are really good at that in your club, kind of bring the group together, make them the club ambassadors, and assign them new members as they come in because they're good at that job. So let them do it. One of the things too we talked about was giving the new people a job that we all know is very important. We tend to use the same people over and over again in our clubs. John knows how to do that. Let him do it again. He's done it for 7 years. So we wear them out and we don't put new people in that job. So we encourage clubs to look at that, make sure you're turning your leadership over in your club enough that you can bring in that new person that has those skills that you need. The other thing we talked about was public image. I think that one of the things our club has really benefited from is a big event that we have every year that's kind of like our signature event, gets our name in the newspaper, gets our name in the media. people are going, oh, Rotary, what's that? Oh my gosh, look what they're doing. So get into the newspaper, get into social media, get Rotary name out there, and it'll cause interest, we think, in bringing new members. Group, did I forget anything that you wanted brought forward?
Great job.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
Is there, from the Zoom groups, the other two rooms, is there anything that somebody from either one of those groups that Karen wasn't with Karen, that you'd like to add, or you'd like to say? I know people are coming up with the same thing. Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Jim. A couple of things that came up with our group. One is to really personalize the conversation. When you do have new members or individuals, listen to their story, find out what their skills are, their interests are, and help them fit into the club in a place that they can do what they want to do. The other is, Colleen Heights said, when they have a new member orientation, that they have a list of all the upcoming projects, not just the next project, but a number of projects. So you can kind of look and see what areas of service the club's going to be involved in and how they might be able to fit into that. And I think that to help change the culture of the club, to remind us that all of us are about public image every time we have a conversation, and all of us are about membership. And it's not just left to the membership chairman or the membership committee to do that, that it's a club thing, and you may just need to take time to dig into that and take a look at it. So, thank you.
Thanks, Kent. You're talking public image. Patrick's just smiling over here. So.
I mean, he's right. The point is, you can sell all you want to sell. Show up to a club and the members are rude and they're not friendly and they're not this, you're done. So, and it doesn't matter how good of a membership chair you have, the club has to work together to create a culture.
What Patrick is saying, if you didn't hear him, is that it's up to a club to work together to create a culture that welcomes everybody, that not only fosters new members, but makes the members that you have want to come back next week and the next week and the next week.
Right.
Okay, anybody else on Zoom?
Yes.
Rick. Okay, last one on Zoom.
All right,
Rick.
Rick Collins with South Austin Rotary. Just real quickly, we talked about needing a clear vision for your projects and I guess what your club's about. How do we acquire the demographics as we're looking to diversify our club to meet the demographics of our community? We emphasize the service projects a lot, that's a big draw. We talked quite a bit about millennials and how we are aging, and how do we engage the millennials in our activities. We have a tendency to lean on, the really active members. So how do we engage all the members for all of our projects and our work? Place for everybody, buddy up. And then we somebody, they join to do the service projects and to make friends. So those are some of the things we talked about real quickly.
Thank you, Rick, and everybody. Hopefully the breakout sessions work well for the Zoom folks. Okay, for people in the room, which group wants to say something? We'll have a couple of you groups. Kathy, which group would like to say something about what y'all talked about? And if you're the spokesperson, you got to come up here, because I'm afraid the Zoom folks won't hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so with our group, we were talking about how really to make things more relevant, and be it where we're making it relevant so that members and new members clearly understand what Rotary is all about. It's not about a lunch meeting. It's not about a speaker, but really understanding the business of Rotary. And so there was one recommendation that we crack into our regular meeting program, where once a month, the committee talks about what they're doing about membership, what they're doing about public image, what they're doing about service projects, and it rotates every week on that. The other one was getting rid of those sacred cows and bringing back singing, and bringing up with, I know, I just saw you all kind of go, right? But if you bring out the kid in you and you follow the bouncing ball and you sing the Rotary song,
right? And then another one was making sure that everybody has a job, right? And so be it joke of the week or be it trivia questions, book of questions where everybody kind of gets engaged, or really where you have somebody that kind of comes up in costume for the Rotary Minute and recognizing that people are not engaged and thanking them for their non-attention was another one. The other one that I thought was really good was working with your AG and going and visiting other clubs and learning what people in that club, how they do their job. Because if all you're doing is the same thing your predecessor did, and you're not doing very well, the outcome is on the wall. So if you want to change the culture, getting your members out and visiting other clubs and learning how other people do their jobs. So that was one of the big things. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. And remember, some of this stuff, you know, she mentioned singing and somebody goes, oh, God. Well, what we're talking about here, some of this is going to work for your club. Some of it's not going to work for your club. Well, I was in partnership with a guy that we had a consulting firm, and I was a technical person. I'm a lawyer by trade, but tell everybody I'm one of the good ones because I'm retired. But I'm a lawyer by trade, so I'm a kind of a technical type guy. Well, this was the entrepreneur guy. Okay, he's the one that had the ideas. I used to call him shotgun, because he would just shoot a shotgun at a wall with 1,000 ideas, and about 3 of them would stick, or 4 of them would stick. So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. We're going to throw out a lot of things to you, a lot of ideas, a lot of good things. It may or may not stick with your club. You got to find what's right for your club, what's right for the culture of your club, and that's what we're trying to do. So next group, is there another group here that wants to say something that they came up with? Okay, come up. Ladies first. That group, then that group, then we gotta move on. I'm not meaning to leave y'all out, but we gotta move on. All right. Reintroduce yourself too while you're here.
Hi, y'all. I'm Jackie Williamson, and I'm from Georgetown, Texas. We went over the 4 bullet points, which is to grow Rotary and grow engagement, make your club relevant, and also diversify membership. Within those bullet points of growing Rotary, we talked about enacting mentoring and doing once a month service projects that are with local nonprofits and joining arms with other clubs that are adjacent to the club you're located by. We also talked about a marketing plan with social media, paper, newspapers, warm networking, and other people's networks. As far as engagement, we went through talking about re-engaging old membership, understanding why people left and conducting exit interviews, building membership through pins and welcoming ceremonies, building bios of folks that are in the club, and sharing roles with Happy Bucks or Sunshine Buckets, I think is what they were called.
Sunshine Buckets.
Basket.
That's my club.
Okay. Making your club relevant. We talked about table topics where folks can talk about what they do in Rotary, membership after hours with coffee chats, how to grow and set guidelines for members, adding visibility for what each level of Rotary focuses on. So on the international, district, and then local level, mixing up tables where folks sit to avoid cliques, and diversifying membership, which heavily relied on the board for presidential influence. We talked about how the board on top of the club really influences the projects that happen, and we like to see more diversity there, especially with different panels. Check-ins to determine if folks like what they're currently working on, and if they don't, then we can change it up. Sometimes that's a part of mentoring, is just mixing it up and being okay with that. Rotarians at work swag. I thought that was a really great, yeah, I thought that was a really great swag item. And adding fun into projects so that many hands make light work. Understanding challenges within each age group, how to address and overcome those challenges so that we can increase membership in all age ranges. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. One more, you got something new? All right, come on.
I don't know how I can follow that.
I don't either. Go ahead. Give it a shot.
Just gotta fill in the gaps.
Blows my mind. I'm Christophe Blanc, Temple South location. So in regards to the education part, one of the things we talked about in our group is starting off with the inspiration, inspiring the member to cause their own engagement. Okay, so that's in regards to the aspect of going through the worldwide change that Rotary is all about, getting them to understand that they are part of something bigger than just themselves, which in turn follows the act of service above self. So they themselves can understand that portion and that they're part of a bigger picture. So in informing them of that. In regards to the job side of it and getting them involved and engaged, right before the start of the meeting, give the opportunity to have about 5 minutes worth of table talk. Give each table the opportunity to get to know each other, talk about how their week's been, where they're from, what they're doing, their involvement and all the above. So create that energy at the table before the actual meeting starts. So it's 5 minutes of connection there. Another thing in regards to the engagement that I think was a great idea from the gentleman there in red is the Rotary Minute by 123. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think is what you mentioned. So providing a book to each of the members that can rotate weekly. And in that book, it allows the individual that's in Rotary to be engaged by reading the book about Rotary and highlighting their Rotary moment of what inspired them in that book about what we're about. And then they themselves present it at the following meeting. And since it's highlighted, the next individual who's up knows that that section's already been taken. So allow them to continue reading until they find their Rotary moment. So that was a great idea. So that allows that individual to be engaged, speaking in front of the group, getting involved. In regards to engagement as well, is one of the questions I had for my president is who's in charge of setting up and taking down the meetings? Well, my understanding is the sergeant at arms. So that's obviously a commitment. But what if we allow the individual to be involved by helping setting up and then taking down and letting that be a rotation on top of also prior to the meeting the week before, you've called the individual and say, hey, would you be willing to lead in prayer next meeting? Would you be willing to lead in the pledge? So you're rotating those things instead of trying to find the individual that day. It's already scheduled. And that's just a little something that maybe allows them to open up and get involved and be comfortable with speaking, which may take the next step of them getting further involved. And the gentleman in teal mentioned in regards to setting the expectation of what the Rotary Foundation is versus what Rotary International is, because the foundation is so important to what our goal is. And by doing that, letting the new member involved understand that he's challenging him to be a Paul Harris within the next 12 months. And by doing so, he himself outsourcing a check of a dollar amount that he chooses by saying, I'm taking a chance on you being a new member. Here's a check that I'm outsourcing towards your Paul Harris accomplishment. Now go ahead and fill the rest and let me know what you need from me to get to that accomplishment. So he's hedging his bet on the new member in regards to getting there. So we talked about that and that was it.
Good. Thank you. All right, well, John and Tom, I can't leave you all out. Anything the other group, anything different you guys want to share? These are such great ideas, and I hope the breakout sessions were good for y'all. God, y'all are amazing. You just came up with some great ideas. You took a lot of my thunder about what we're going to talk about later. So we may get out of here early. So good for y'all. So what? Let me get this out of here and move this thing around. Okay. I got to go back just a second. I got ahead of myself. Okay. All right, I'm going to bore you now. For about 5 minutes. Then we're gonna take a break before we start really getting kind of weird. I'm gonna bore you with some statistics. So first of all, where have we been? Why do we care about membership? I mean, you know, we're as a district. We talked about you get new members every year, right? You guys get new members every year. So where have we been as a district? Take a look at the past member numbers. This starts in 2011. Do you see a trend?
Yeah, can you help me?
Every
Hook that
year,
trailer up to the pickup.
every year, we're
No.
going down.
They're gonna take a break here soon. Can you give me
We-
a couple of minutes?
How
And then
about
we'll have to do it
5
pretty
minutes,
quick.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask everyone to mute.
Can everybody that's on Zoom, can you mute just for a second? Can y'all hear me on Zoom? Just give me a thumbs up or raise your hand. You okay? Okay, we'll take a break. I promise you in 5 minutes, okay? Let me get through these boring figures first. But you see the trend. I got to point out one thing. You see the figure that says 7/1/2019, and then the figure that says 7/1/2020. That year, we lost almost 200 members. That was the year I was district governor. So why in the world does Shannon want me to be the district membership chair?
She has hope in you.
Oh my, well, I'm going to give you one excuse. March 2020. That happened during my year. And we all shut down. And I mean, we shut down. Clubs stopped meeting. And you know, we tried to have our weekly district connect thing, which many of you attended, where we all learned about Zoom. We finally learned about Zoom and brought it. But we continued to even after the COVID year, we continued to lose membership. Now, where are we now? So starting 7/1/2022, we're at 2156. Wow. Last year, we gained 2 new members in our district, which, man, baby steps, right? Considering we've been losing 40 or 50 a year, we gained 2. So far this year, as of August 21st, we're at 2183. So we're plus, what is it? Plus 27 so far this year, but don't get too excited because it's early in the year and hopefully we'll continue to grow. We'll continue to grow. You know, I've been monitoring membership numbers for years. We got to wait till the end of the year, but we're starting to grow. We're starting to grow. Stay positive and you will positively grow your club. Okay, so that's where we've been. I keep hitting the wrong thing.
And honestly, I just gotta say something. I am actually proud of our district during the pandemic. I think we did a great job getting new people in this district and keeping the numbers we have, because we went through one of the world's hardest moments, period, for anything. So from a positive standpoint, we're in a good place.
We did. Patrick talked about how, you know, from a positive standpoint, we are now came back hybrid. And pretty much we're back now. I might suggest, if it works for your club, is kind of go through your roles and see who left you during the COVID time. And maybe they're ready to come back. Don't forget those folks that left you. Okay, one other quick statistic. You can see how old our district is, and that's no surprise to anybody. 50% of our district is over 60. okay? So look at your individual club. How's it stack up? We're talking age diversity. And the only reason that if you don't know where you are at your club, you can go to the district website and it will show this. It will show how old your individual club is. If you'll just go look on either the Rotary website or the district website, it'll tell you how old your club is. So the reason I'm showing this is, again, we've got, 50% are over 60. So that means there's a lot of folks like me in Rotary. We're not going to be around forever. So what the individual clubs need to do, what we need to do as a Rotary group is to replenish our membership. And we need to sustain our membership if we want Rotary to be around for another 100 years. And we've been around for more than 100 years. If we continue to age out and we don't replenish what we've got, then we're going to go away. Just simple as that. One other thing before we go, this is kind of a distribution of the age of the workforce.
Oh, wow.
You can see our district is in the blue and the US workforce is in the yellow, gold. There's a lot of folks out there that are working that want to serve, and they say they don't have time for Rotary. Maybe this is where your club flexibility comes in. How do you in your club, we're not going to talk about it too long, but don't give up your core values, but look at ways that maybe when you bring in some of these folks that are working, how you can accommodate them. Make this Rotary for everybody. Rotary did away with the attendance requirements, basically. Now, your individual clubs still have it. You can do whatever you want to with that. But if you can give the option, you've got all these folks that are working. And they will say, I don't have time for Rotary. How many people in the room are working? How many people have jobs? You're here, right? Well, duh. Not having enough time is not necessarily an excuse. It's prioritizing your time. And if we make people Rotarians, then they may be like the folks that are working that are actually here. You're taking some time out from your Saturday because you have a passion for membership, or you have a passion for a foundation, which is in the room next door. So I understand the working part, but I don't totally buy it as an excuse. I think if we can prioritize, if we can get our younger folks, those folks that are working, if we can get them to prioritize some of their time for Rotary, we'll be a lot better off.
Can I just say one?
Yeah.
This is what Pat and I did, so sorry.
Come up here.
Well,
I don't know that the Zoom folks can
okay.
keep talking.
But I mean, and Diane, tell me if I'm wrong here, but we don't have a membership problem around the world. We have a problem in North America because the world knows what Rotary is. It saved their life. It saved their village. It saved their people. It made them have education, clean water, etc. So young people in India, young people in Asia are lining up to join Rotaract and Rotary, and they're busier than we are. And so it's about getting the message out there. What is Rotary? Why is Rotary to all these people? Then coming in and making sure your membership welcoming and the club is welcoming, then the problem's going to go away. So I just want to make it clear, this is a North America issue, not around the world. So, because they know what Rotary is, and that's the case. It's changed their lives.
All right, thank you, Patrick. One thing I want to break in 1 minute, I promise. If I go over a minute, you guys just start getting up and leaving. And if you want to, regarding the folks that are working, there's one of the Rotary tenets has always been, we give everybody a classification, right? We give them a thing with their job, but a lot of people have done away with that. Rotary doesn't make a big deal out of it that much. I mean, you can have 15 realtors, you can have 15 lawyers in your club. One of the things I found, and we're trying it in our club, Becky, is look at the classifications that you don't have. Do you have a hotel manager? Do you have a car dealer? Do you have a dentist? Do you have an architect? What do you not have in your club? And then go in your community and maybe you can find those. There's folks out there that are looking to serve. There's folks out there that want to serve. We can't always expect them to come to us. One of the things that I think we can do is be a little more proactive in our membership. So I'm thinking, look at what you don't have and go throughout the community and see if you can find somebody that might be a fit to your club. Does that make any sense to y'all? It may not work everywhere, but I think it might work in some areas. Okay, 10-minute break. Bathrooms are down to the right. There's some food, drink, stuff in the back. Zoom folks, you're on your own. So come back in about 10 minutes and we'll get going. We're gonna get 3 hours left, so we need to get hurried. What? Who said what? I want you to. No, but I will. I just don't know if they can hear you on Zoom. That's why I'm calling you up here. All right, did we lose anybody? We lost some, but they'll.
Well, because you said 10 minutes, I think it's been less.
Has it been less than 10?
Yeah, I felt like 5.
No, it's been more than 5, I can tell you that.
It's 10 right now.
Huh? What'd you say, Kent?
It's 10 minutes right now.
All right, well, we're gonna get started. And hey, Tom, if you see some of our folks out there wandering the halls, tell them to come on down. All right, everybody back. Stay muted. I gotta get my thing up here. Finally figuring out how to work all this stuff. Okay. Started, one of the two. Get started, okay. All right, we're gonna. All right, we've gone through. Yes, Pamela.
How Rotary has worked in all these other world countries in India and whatnot. Maybe we don't do enough in North America to be that noticed as we are in other countries. Maybe if we do more projects here, even like the one we just did in Arizona.
Yeah.
Maybe we would be more recognized.
That's an interesting point. I will say.
Just a second, Pat. What Pam was talking about is everybody knows about what Patrick was talking about, the international aspect of Rotary, how we do things in other countries and help third world countries. And those folks over there, Asia, India, they know all about us because of what we've done. Maybe the folks in North America don't know that much about us because we don't publicize, or do we do those type of projects actually in North America, the United States or something, that so that the people will be able to recognize us better. So Patrick, go ahead.
No, I mean, you said, I mean, it's just, we do a lot in North America, right? We do a lot. We don't share it enough. We don't brag enough, but it's finding the connection between, if you want a peaceful world, Rotary's the answer. If you want kids to have clean water, Rotary's the answer. It's like everything going on the planet, including polio eradication, COVID-19, but whatever, right? We're the answer. And yes, we're in North America and we are the home of. So it's like finding that message in your communities by not preaching, but saying, hey, I'm inspiring you to understand what Rotary is, and I'm welcoming you to come join so you can change the world as well. Because that's what, like you said, those young people right there, age 29, 30, 39, they're hungry to actually make an impact. What they don't realize, no offense to other organizations, those other organizations aren't making anywhere close to the impact we're making here. So I think I don't know if I answered your question, but it's about the impact, inspiration, and the why, sharing your story.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that, but Patrick just kind of reiterated that, again, if we'll share our story, if we'll be a little more impactful through what we do in our clubs, then the message will get out.
And one more thing, and I'll be quiet. Patrick and I were just talking about diversity. Like my club's extremely diverse, extremely diverse. We found members because we went to them and asked them, whoever them are, right? and said, hey, what do you need? Not, we don't have a clue. We're not gonna come to you and say, we're gonna clean the park up. Maybe they don't want the park cleaned.
Yeah.
What do you need? We're here to help. And we're also here to invite you to get to know us and become your family of service. And so the more you go out into North American communities and say, hi, we're Rotary, we want to get to know you and listen to your needs and then help figure out to solve your problems, not us coming and preaching and saying we think we know. You're gonna have a show.
Yes, ma'am.
Man, I had so many good thoughts, and then it's like Patrick kept talking, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So I think to further that engagement is also to involve folks within the different level band or the different age bands, because what we really noticed when I lived back in Salem is that our community was a bunch of small businesses, and the thing that they struggled with the most was visibility. And having interactive groups where they've had visibility, but also my thought will come back up.
You're not over. Engaging.
So, yeah, so engaging the community and really branding what Rotary can do for them is huge. But also bringing those international projects visible to how that was fundraising and starting. And I don't think, oh, that's what it was. Okay, so people.
Hey, you gotta come up here. I can't remember all this to repeat. Can you guys on Zoom hear her at all?
No.
People don't correlate how.
I need to come up here. We gotta talk up here. Because this is good, because I want the people on Zoom to hear it and I can't recap everything.
So my original plus one to Patrick was people don't correlate the work that service does as the bridge between small businesses trying to get their feet up and running and large corporations. So nonprofit work is really that bridge that helps engage communities and really grow and strengthen all of those small to medium-sized businesses. And that's the struggle that I think a lot of the younger folks see is like before they age in their working career is that they don't see how being in Rotary helps their career. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
Some great comments. Anything in the chat or anything?
Yes,
Okay, what do we got? We got a chat.
we have. Please consider bringing the speakers to the mic.
Okay, point taken, point taken.
And we need to consider how, RI reconsider the age of being a Rotarian. Now you have to wait until you were 35? Oh, no.
No, that's not true.
Okay, if we want younger folks to join our club, we need to allow them to join. Okay, well, that needs to be clear that.
You want to get up here?
Okay.
You can give on that. This is my membership
Okay.
expert.
There may be a
tell 'em what the comment
misunderstanding.
was.
The comment was there to bring younger Rotarians in, RI needs to lower the joining age. That, and there's a misconception that it was 35. It should actually be, a Rotarian can join your club as soon as they are at their majority age. That we have 18-year-olds. I think there's some confusion oftentimes with the age limit that's been placed with Rotaract, which is a completely different type of Rotarian recognized membership. So to become a Rotarian, to be a member of your club, there is no age limit in terms of a cap at certain age. So we have lots of Rotarians that come to us from Rotaract, and they can come before they're 30. They don't have to wait. There's no limit on Rotaract top age, but so 35, that's it. Unfortunately, that was a bit of misinformation.
In fact, some of your best members are RILA graduates and alumni.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, any more comments on this before we go forward? Oh, one more.
So one of the questions that was brought up earlier was how do we engage back over there?
I'm sorry. We can't, the Zoom people can't hear you. The people on Zoom can't hear you because we don't have that technology yet.
Is that a wireless mic?
Yeah.
It is, but I don't know if it's got to be near the Zoom mic.
No, it's a quick question.
That's okay.
So one of the questions was, how do we engage corporate sponsors and how do we engage small business sponsors? Feel free to come up.
The question was, are clubs considering corporate, family, and service memberships?
Or corporate
Consider it.
membership.
Corporate memberships. Okay. See,
Okay, that's easy.
I just want to make sure that that's.
There are different types of memberships out there. Some of the clubs already have those type of memberships. They are available. That's one of the things that we're going to feel if you were, remember back, all the way back to about 9 o'clock, where we talked about these membership moments. That's one of the things that, number one, you can go to either the Rotary website or the district website, and it talks about that. But we're going to have a Rotary moment pretty soon on the different types of memberships that you can have, whether you have family memberships, corporate memberships. Corporate membership is basically the corporation is in the club. You have to name a member. There has to be an individual, HEB can't be a member of Rotary, but Joe Blow at HEB can be. But then you can also bring in other executives from that can come in to your meetings. A lot of clubs give discounts for a spouse or for some family things. So there's different ways to do it. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's going to be in our Rotary or our membership moments that we're going to be putting out on the website pretty soon. But there are different types of club memberships that has to do with club flexibility and things like that. Did that help? Okay, we're going to go on. We've talked a lot about where we were, where we want to be. Now we're going to talk about where do we want to be? Where are we going? And we've talked about, sometimes we need to reevaluate. We need to make some change, right? Well, making change it's not a new concept, right? It's been around a while. It's been around a while. Come on. Why is this not? I am. This is a quote. Everybody know who Paul Harris is?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody not know who Paul Harris is? Stop it, Marty. Okay. Paul Harris in 1935 said, "This is a changing world. We must be prepared to change with it. The story of Rotary will have to be written again and again." And I think we all can agree with that. That, for decades, Rotary's been losing members. We have good meetings. We write big checks to nonprofits, but still we've got people that are leaving Rotary. And as Patrick mentioned earlier, the truth of the matter is, in North America, this great organization is on a free fall. We're losing members. We're getting better, but we're losing members. You'll hear Rotary talks about we've gained some members, and that's true. And Diane, you correct me if I'm wrong in making this statement. A lot of the reason that it shows Rotary has gained members is because we have made Rotaractors throughout the world Rotarians. They count in our membership number, and they used to not count in our membership number. So I won't say that skews our real membership, but when you add a bunch of Rotaractors from around the world to what your membership is, it kind of gives a little bit more of a edge to what the membership really is. But especially in North America, we're really losing memberships, and we got to make some kind of change, right? We've got to do things a little different than what we've done before. I want everybody that has been in Rotary for 5 years or less stand up, or 5 years or longer to stand up.
5 years or longer.
Yeah, 5 years or longer, stand up. Okay. Now, if you've been in Rotary more than 10 years, continue to stand up. Everybody else sit down. If you've been in Rotary more than 20 years, continue to stand up. Okay, you guys have been in Rotary a long time. So how has Rotary changed in the last 20 years? Has it changed at all? So tell me some things, Governor Rex, tell me some things that have changed about Rotary that you've seen.
Now, one of the biggest changes we have in Rotary is we allow women to come in. That was the best decision we ever made. Without that, Rotary is dead in the water today. So inclusive for spouses, inclusive for sisters, mothers is great, but we've got to look at the bigger picture that why? What's the purpose? What do I get out of it?
Okay, what?
No, it can't answer that question. That's one of those. They don't have a purpose.
What Governor Rex was saying, that one of the biggest changes that he's seen is y'all can sit down if you want to. What he's seen is the inclusion of females in Rotary, and especially when you get your spouses in. Marty, what did you see over the last 20 years?
Well, we're starting to tell people that we're here and what we do. Years ago, that didn't happen. It's like a secret.
Yeah. We're beginning to publicize Rotary a little bit more than we used to. So there's things that have changed, but then there's a lot of folks that want to know, well, you know, everybody keeps saying we need change, but no, what's wrong with Rotary? What's wrong with the Rotary that I joined 20 years ago? Yeah, we used to have perfect attendance. Is there anything wrong with that? No. We used to have classification restrictions. You used to have fines. You know, you get fined for doing this and doing that. Every club used to be a singing club. You know, only the elite folks could join Rotary. That's the way Rotary started. Man, we've been around 100 years. We've been doing that. We've been doing something right? Our glory days of Rotary, right? That's the way it was. So is it really fair that we should be asking people to change? You know, shouldn't the new members, shouldn't they all adopt our traditions? Shouldn't they change to fit us? What do you think? No, that's no good. So one of the things we're going to do, I'm going to go past this slide. We're going to get a little weird now. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get a little weird. We're going to talk about changing your mindset toward Rotary. Think about a service project that you've done where the community has been involved in your service project, where the community has volunteered. Now, I'm not talking about really a signature project, but I'm talking about how the project actually worked when you got the community involved. Did anybody have a project that has been done? And you two folks on Zoom, let me know if you have what a project that the community was involved in as opposed to just your group. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Sun City Rotary has breakfast with Santa, and we get the Georgetown Fire Department and the fire chief to cook pancakes every year in December. And the whole community chips in to make pancakes, and we feed about 1,200 people.
Georgetown Sun City has a breakfast with Santa where they get the fire department involved to help cook pancakes for the community.
And people chip in, they bring their kids, they take pictures with Santa. This was before COVID. Last 2 years, we had drive-bys.
Yeah.
But this year again, we're gonna continue to do what we used to do, cook pancakes, take pictures of the kids with Santa, and the whole community comes in.
Great. Patrick?
We do the adoption fest where we involve CPS and parents, like parents from all over Central Texas. And when they walk out of there, they're not only wondering what Rotary is, they don't know, but it's changed their life forever.
Patrick talked about a project they do with the Child Protective Services and Adoption Project. Okay, anybody on Zoom? Okay, one more. Yes, ma'am.
So we joined forces with the Islamic group to tax flags for backpacks. It's in houses flags. We ended up having like 75 folks show up. Pack backpacks.
Sounds great. Yes, Ken.
We've had a couple of food drives and we've advertised it in the neighborhoods where we're collecting food. And a lot of the people from the community ended up bringing food over and adding it to the food drive. So we've had signs up on the street to help identify who we are.
Okay, those are all great. Those are all great. Let me have you think about something. And I'm going to tell you this because it's worked before. And I'm stealing this from another Rotary Club. Many of you were at our district conference. You heard a gentleman from the Plano West Rotary Club talk about his club. In 2020, July 1st of 2020, there were 21 members of the Rotary Club of Plano West. Now, if you know anything about Collin County and Plano, that's one of the biggest growing areas in the world or in our country. And you got a club right in the middle of it that had 21 members and they were fixing to terminate. They were just about to go belly up or merge with another club. In July 1st, 2021, they had 63 members.
Wow.
They went from 21 to 63 in one Rotary year.
How'd they do it?
How'd they do it? They changed their mindset. How did they do it? Rich K has joined us. Rich, there's a safe room down the hall if they're coming after you. There you go. They changed their mindset. Think about this. They treated their club like a business. Your members are your employees.
Yeah.
Your community is your customer. So how do you make your business grow? Our product is community service. We got a product to sell, not only to our members, but to our customers. The community is our customer. So how do we do this? How do we get our customers involved in our business? That club went out and I'm not suggesting this isn't going to be right for every club, but over that one Rotary year, they did about 50 service projects. And you think, oh my God, we'll never do that many. People in our club won't take part of that. Well, most of their projects, there's one member of their Rotary Club involved in. What they did was they went to their community. They went to nonprofits in their community. They went to other organizations in their community. And they told them about their upcoming project. How many of you have projects and you say, okay, we're going to go to the food bank and we're going to help them, stock their shelves. We're going to pack some meals. We're going to do this. But do you ask your friends to come with you? Do you ask your family to come with you? Do you ask the community to? Let me tell you a secret. There is nothing in the Rotary Constitution or bylaws. There's nothing in our district bylaws and regulations. There's nothing in the manual of procedures, and I guarantee you there's nothing in your club Constitution or bylaws that says non-Rotarians cannot take part in the service project. There's absolutely no reason when you have a service project why you can't go out in the community and let them know about it and say, come and help, whether it's another nonprofit, whether it's a chamber of commerce, whether it's the fire department, whether it's the city, whether it's HEB. Go to those folks and tell them, we've got this project and we want you to come and help us with that project. That's how you sell your business, right? You go to your customers and you say, I've got this business and here's this product, and this is how this product will benefit you. That's the same thing that we can do if we change our mindset and think about our Rotary Club is a business. So, yeah, does that make any sense? Does that make any sense to y'all?
Yeah.
Mr. K, Jim, I may have to have you come up here.
I just want to add that if you don't believe this kind of thing can work, the Rotary Club of Fort Worth, which was the third largest Rotary Club in North America, found itself in free fall 4 years ago. They had gone from 500 members to 200, and they were heading south. And they spent a year of having what they call critical conversations among their members. Kind of itchy topics, but in a civil, non-threatening way. And they decided upon a service project that they can all get behind. And that service project was recognizing minority-owned and underutilized businesses in the Fort Worth area on an annual basis. All the people who were nominated were given free memberships to the Rotary Club for a year, so they kind of find out what Rotary was like. But over the last 18 months, they've gone from 200 to 325 members. And they have changed the entire complexity of their club, where they had the one lady who was giving this presentation was an African-American woman. She said, when I joined the club, I was the only African-American out of 200 members of my club. We got 67 today. And they all came through getting to know Rotary through this process of recognizing historically underutilized minority business. So it can be done if you work it.
What Rich was talking about another club in the North Texas area, the Rotary Club of Fort Worth, which was one of our largest clubs in the country, that went from 500 to 200 and was just in a free fall. And they involved the community in a project to recognize historically underutilized businesses. Is that right? And invite those folks to not only visit their Rotary Club, but take part in what they did. And that's.
And they have a toolkit that they're giving out. It's an electronic PDF file, like all the toolkit. But this is how we did it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're willing to give their roadmap out to anybody who wants to look at it. I mean, it might fit, it might not fit, but it's. I'll give it to Jim and he can hang it. I downloaded it after that.
All right. And are we losing you? Okay. All right. If you have to go, you go. I totally understand. Ooh, well, no, there's no workman. There's no workers' comp involved in Rotary, so you're on your own. Rich just talked about a little bit more about how they had a good toolkit for doing that. And I know you folks on Zoom can't hear it all. We're working on technology that will allow us to have a roving mic. Part of the problem is, yeah, we got a wireless mic, but the Zoom comes through the computer. The audio comes through the computer, and we don't quite have the technology yet to hook it up to the computer to wander around the room. So I apologize for some of that.
I just want to add
some of that stuff
to what Rich said. The Fort Worth Club, the Plano West Club, this club and that club that are successful. They are not successful without a strong membership and public image relationship. You cannot do what Fort Worth did without public image. You cannot do what Alex has done without public image. So if you're thinking in this room, well, I'm just going to go back and do everything membership and we have no public image, you're going to fail. I'm just being real. So go to your club, work with your public image person. Don't have one, call us. But the bottom line is work together to create these ideas because they work together. That's why I'm here.
That's exactly right. What Patrick talked about is that you've got to work with your public image if you really want to do something like this. I mean, what Plano West did was they would put it on their websites and they would share it. They would send messages to their friends. They would tell their buddies to log on to the website. They'd talk about their weekly meetings. They would have it in their weekly newsletter. If you're in a small community or even a large one that has a community impact, get that thing in there. They did everything in the world to publicize. And it's not, we do that in our club. We say, okay, we're going to go do this and that as a project. How many Rotarians want to go with me? And the same 5 or 6 go every time.
Rod Henry was president of this, but what Fort Worth did was they partnered with the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, and they helped publicize it to all the members of the chamber.
Yeah, what he was talking about was, and that's the other thing that they did. They got into collaboration with other nonprofits. Yeah, we got things around our area. We have, and right down the street from my club is the Asian American Community Center. They probably do some projects. Let's go talk to them, say, how can we help you? And oh, by the way, we're going to do this. Would you like to come and join us? It's just, it's the mindset that we don't have to keep our membership and I know I'm talking about service. This is not a service seminar, but service and membership are so intertwined. I mean, I got to give kudos to my president last year. Rick Hoffman was the president of Northwest Austin Club. Quite frankly, we had fallen into the habit of writing a lot of checks and not doing a lot of, he changed that. We did at least 3 service projects a month. And I think we're doing like 3 or 4 a month this year. And our membership, a net increase of 12, which for a club that we've been losing members, the year before we lost 14. So we like plus 26 in the last year and a half. And the only thing that we really changed was we did a lot of service. So you got to get, your service is going to help grow your membership. And you wonder, I'll ask all this community to come in and help. Well, then they're going to find out what Rotary is all about. They're going to find out the why of Rotary. And they're going to say, this isn't too bad. Maybe I ought to take part in this organization and don't just keep your service projects at home. That's the whole part of it.
And that's the most priceless public image you can get. That's what Amber and I always say. Forget social media and media. That can be handled. When you go to communities, chambers, or churches, whatever, and you share the great work you're doing, your membership's going to grow, the foundation's going to grow, because people are going to get, wow, this is changing our lives. That's the best part.
So the other thing that they really did when they came up with the service project, they came together and said, if you're going to do a service project that requires a committee to plan it, then don't do it. It's too big a project. Have an idea and have a Rotarian or 2 run the project, but not the volunteers for the project. Not meaning, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't have your members show up, but don't have your members be the only volunteers for a service project. That's where we're talking about way back at about 9:30, when we talked about diversity, how your club should reflect your community. How better to have your club reflect your community than bring your club to the community and ask the community. They may or may not join, but they're going to know what Rotary does. Exactly what Fort Worth is. So there's my mindset change. Okay. We're going to do a quick breakout session. If I can figure out how to go to next. What I want you to do, you're going to do do we still have enough people on Zoom? 4. Do the same thing. Eric, you get with this group and y'all get together and turn around and let's talk briefly, maybe about 10 minutes, about how our product is community service along with the foundation. How do we sell our product to our customers? You're running a business. You're not in a Rotary Club. You're running a business. So how do you make your Rotary Club, which is your business, sell your product to your customers, which are the people in the community? So let's just go about, let's just go about 10. I think we can do this probably pretty quick because I want to stay on point. So let's go about 10 minutes and then we'll come back and we'll see how we're going to sell our product.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
It did. The question on education, George, Molly,
Yeah.
We got the Zoom folks back. And we're gonna start out, we'll start out with the current folks here in the room first. To see who wants to share. First of all, we've got a volunteer, how do we sell our product to our community?
All righty. The first thing in regards to being able to share our product is, for one, as a club, what is your product? Figuring out the 5 areas of what your product is that makes the core of your club. Okay, so many clubs out there don't really know what they themselves want to provide in the community. So really honing in on what your club is about is where you need to start, is what we've come up with. That will then allow you to share the great work that Rotary is about by getting it out in the public because of the actions that you're doing by providing the service projects. So if you're willing to share that information, it'll go viral, not technically viral, but it'll definitely get out in the community and people understand what you're about, which then everyone that is able to see that wants to be a part of something that's authentic. Everybody wants to be included in that, which will allow them to feel that they're part of something greater. Everybody's all about change. One person can't make the change, but a group of individuals can make the change, which then after that, you take the step to ask for the invite of the individual to join and be part of the change by being involved in the community, by doing the labor. So that's kind of what we've come up with.
Thank you. Okay, one more from the peanut gallery here. Anybody else got some thoughts that they want to share from as far as selling the product goes? Anybody? Nobody? Y'all come up with anything different, Kathy? About the same? Come up here. There are no, there are no wrong ideas. I told you this was gonna get a little weird. And so that's what we're trying to do, is just challenge folks. And remember, this may not work for every club out there. This may not work for your club, but it may work for your club. So that's what we're trying to do, is just share and throw out some ideas, some things that may help you in your quest toward growing Rotarians.
So one of the ideas that came up was the chamber. So how many of you is your club a member of your city's chamber? Do you attend those meetings? If you don't attend those meetings, why not? So one of the things that came up in our small discussion, and the Round Rock Sunrise Club had to leave early, but both clubs, the Round Rock Club and the Sunrise Club, are members of our chamber. We don't necessarily attend those meetings as Rotarians. Many people who do attend those chamber meetings attend because of their business. But what if we attended with our Rotary hat on? What if we attended that chamber meeting and we talked about what Rotary does, or about a service project that we were working on? Or we use the chamber as an opportunity to plug into what the community's needs really truly were. So looking at the chamber as an opportunity, as a way of communicating that works in both directions. So building on what was said earlier, if you know what your community really truly needs, then you can come back as a club and saying, these are our areas of focus that we really truly care about. And then as a club, these are the service projects that we're looking to do or have done that show that we truly are congruent with what we say we care about. This is what we actually truly do. And that makes you truly authentic, where people seek you out to be part of that. So looking at the chamber is a missing link in that communication.
Thank you, Kathy. That's such a great idea about the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. And so anybody on Zoom got some ideas of selling your product to your customers?
Jim, I think our group took a little bit more of a broader approach. The first thing we talked about was marketing and PR, and I am of the belief that marketing and PR is everybody's responsibility. You want your group to grow, whether it's profit or nonprofit, you want your group to grow. It's everybody's responsibility to grow it. And I think that if any good has come out of the pandemic, it's that we figured out we need personal connection. So we talked about that as well, and how it's all about building relationships. We do that in for-profit businesses. Why not in not-for-profit businesses? It's just a huge, broad way to look at it. We talked, somebody mentioned that they were having trouble getting requests from other organizations. We maintain the fact that, well, just because they're not calling us, the phone works both ways. Of course, we need to be calling them and just spread out again and say, hey, here's some labor. You know, in this time and day of our labor shortage, no business turns down free labor. No business turns down anything that's free. But it's really important to note that in many cases, volunteers rule the world. They're willing to do that job for free, whatever job that is. And so we want to reach out to schools again, start there, of course, and partner up with other clubs. That was something else that we had heard was going to be a big thing, and I hear it every year though, but I've yet to see it happen. So I'm going to see about working with other clubs, because if you have a club with 6 and you have another club with 6, why not let's get together? Now we have a club of 12. I'm not suggesting we recharter or what have you, but just do more power in numbers. So that's what we came up with, really. Again, we kind of saw it as a broader approach. But again, if marketing PR is everybody's responsibility and it's a lifestyle, we know the Rotary is a lifestyle, then we can sell it. We can sell it. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jerry. Yeah, we can't, we got to let the community know about what we're doing. Either if somehow we got to advertise it to them and say, come join the Rotary Club of so-and-so as we stock shelves at this community food bank, as we pack backpacks for this school district. Ask them to join you on your project. Again, no law against a non-Rotarian coming to your service project.
Real quickly to add to that, I should be able to go to your website, and trust me, I go to all yours, and you don't have what I'm about to say. I should be able to go to your website after a service project, click, find out more about me or how to join, and learn everything I need to know about your club, everything I need to know about how to join your club, and what my expectations are. So if you need more help on that, come to Amber and I's training, which is happening soon. So,
yeah,
but that's important. You've got to have the follow through. It's easy for us to find once we're out in the community.
And what Patrick is talking about is making sure that your website is up to date so that when people come to your project and they say, oh, I like that Rotary thing, and they go to your website, it tells them all about your club and what it takes to join and about the project that you've done. Okay, anybody else? All right, this may not work. This thing may not work for everybody. Oh, Kent, where are you? Okay, go.
Oh, I'm just going to tell you two quick things. One thing is that there are a lot of social media options out there, and our group mentioned Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and a lot of times we don't have the local newspaper to help us out anymore. And the other key word was collaboration, is that you don't have to create it all by yourself, that you can work with other clubs and join together and kind of expand your reach that way too. So appreciate it.
Yeah, and not only collaborate with other clubs, but just like we were talking about with the chamber, reach out to other organizations in your community. There's a bunch of, how many people have in the room have had a speaker at your meetings from a nonprofit?
All the time.
Okay, and what do they always do? They want money and they want your help. Well, turn the tables on them a little bit, so to speak. Say, hey, we'd love to help you, but I want to tell you, we've got this project coming up that we think the folks in your organization would be perfect. So why don't you try to see if you can, we'd like to invite some of your members to come to our service project, and then we'll go to your service project. Kind of work it that way. Okay. All right, we are running out of time, so we're gonna move on. We got just a couple of more things that we'll get back to a little bit more of the real world, so to speak. Get things out of the way. I'm not sure why I'm not being able to change my screen without going to next. There we go. All right, there's 3 areas that we want to highlight this year, and we're going to just talk about them briefly. Is where do you find new Rotarians? Where can we find new folks? Anybody got any ideas? We kind of talked about a lot of this already. Classification search that we talked about. Go out and look. You got to be proactive in this membership thing, folks. They're not going to come to us. I'm going to let you answer the question. One of the things we're going to talk about on this membership moment is the RI Leads program. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but when people think about, what I want to join, they'll Google Rotary. And on the Rotary International website, if they end up with Rotary, it lets people decide that, I like this Rotary thing. I'd like to be involved in Rotary. So they fill out a form, whatever area they're in, they send it to me as a membership chair. They'll send it to the district governor. We look at it and we say, hey, this looks like it's a good fit. Kathy's got one working. We've had about 13 of those so far. We got 4 that have already joined clubs. The point of that is there are people out there looking for us. They're looking for service projects. So we need to be proactive and we need to go look for them. We know they're out there. We know they're out there because I get these RI leads saying, I live in Austin. I want to serve. I want to network. I want to get with others that do what I do. So we can go out in our community. We can look for them. Where else can we find new Rotarians?
The community impact, you've got new businesses showing up, that sort of thing. People you talk to at the grocery store, people that you talk to that are part of your church ministries.
Just people throughout the community.
Just people throughout the community, or even people on Facebook that you interact with. Like last night, I interacted with somebody that is doing a flag project.
Yeah. Different people that you interact with at Facebook. Remember what we said earlier is that we don't want to be a country club, right? We don't want to just gain members. We want to gain Rotarians. I've been a member of the Rotary Club of Northwest Austin since 1990. So that's what, 32 years? I became a Rotarian in 2013. I was a member of that club for over 20 years. And I wasn't a Rotarian. I was a member of the club. I didn't know what Rotary did. I was president of the club. I know what Rotary did. I didn't go to district conferences. I didn't learn. I wasn't trained. I wasn't a Rotarian. I was a member. So when you think about where do you find new Rotarians, look in your club. Have you got some folks in your club that are members of your club, but aren't yet Rotarians? Maybe you look at those folks that never go to a service project, never go to a district event. And there's a difference between, I'm just trying to say there's a difference between being a member and being a Rotarian. I hope that makes some sense. And finding new Rotarians or finding old folks, not old like me, but folks that used to be in your club. Again, the COVID thing comes to mind. Everybody lost members like crazy doing COVID, but they joined Rotary for a reason. So let's go out and look for those folks, because it goes to the next thing. Retention equals growth. If we can only retain as a district 90% of our members, we're gonna grow every year. We can't help it because we lose too many folks. So we've got to look at in your clubs ways to, and that's what I'm trying to get through to y'all today, or hopefully some ideas out there, is the way that we grow Rotarians is to retain the folks that we have Go out in the community and try to find some other folks. So that makes sense? I hope so. Then the last thing that we want to highlight, and we want, especially for you membership chair, but even if you're not a membership chair or president, go back to your club and say, what's our plan? What are we going to do for membership? Everybody, you know, Rotary every year, Rotary International wants you to set a goal. Now you'll notice actually the president of Rotary International and our district governors for the last 2 or 3 years have not had a numerical goal, but you still have to come up with one, right? And if you're a president or you know this, there's something you have to go and fill out a form. So so many people say, we are going to grow like crazy this year. We're going to net 10 or 12. Well, and you've netted 1 for the last 15 years. That's not going to happen. And some people just say, okay, well, just get 1. I'll just put a number in. To get to that number, before you can accomplish those first 2 items, you got to have a plan. I'm a big planner. So I want you to go back to your clubs and see if you've got a membership plan. And I'm gonna give you a little framework. We were gonna do a breakout session. We were gonna have you create a membership plan. It's gonna take too long. And we're losing folks, and I totally understand. But think about this. You've got to, before you can set a goal, before you can say we're gonna grow by 1 or we're gonna grow by 10, before you know what the end of the journey is, you got to know where you're going to begin and how you're going to get to the end of the journey. So how do you set a goal? You just say, do you just pick a number out of the hat, or do you come up with a plan? Say, this is what I'd like to do in my club. I'd like to engage. I'd like to do this. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Again, that's up to the club cultures. Hopefully some of that has come through today, but you're going to get to where you want to be. So before you can edit your goal, by the way, and if you've already set one and you think, I don't like that, let's come up with a plan, come up with a real number. So this is kind of a framework for your plan. Does anybody have any questions about that? Or does this kind of make sense? Or have you already got a plan, or does your club have a membership plan other than we want to grow our membership? That's not a plan, right? You got to have a vision. This first one is very, very important. This is what we said from the get-go on this thing. Membership is a club thing, right? Membership is what you want to do as a club. So your club has got to have a vision as to what your club wants to do. Don't look at the Rotary. Don't take the Rotary vision. Don't take the district's vision. Adapt a vision for your club. Each club is going to be different. I tell you, the vision of Hillsborough is going to be different than the vision of the Rotary Club of Waco. It's got to be, because everything is different. So adapt all this stuff. Everything we talk about today, adapt it to your club. So does some of that make a little bit of sense? Okay, that's basically what I got. We were going to do a breakout session. We're not going to do that. So last chance. We're a little early. Last chance for some questions, for some things that maybe that we didn't cover that you wish we would have covered, and we'll try to do some things. Anything on Zoom or anything here, or are we just ready to go home? Ready to go home? Okay, I'm glad that I covered everything there has to do with membership. Anything?
Great
All
job.
right, hello, I hear somebody.
I just said, great job.
No, thank you.
So we're
Now-
going to talk a little bit about different
This ain't
types.
me. This ain't me. This is you guys throwing out the ideas. You guys taking this stuff back to your club. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Our district is the best there is. You guys are the best there is. Go back to your club and remember, there was one thing, I don't know if you saw it, but at the very second slide that I had that talked about members of the district membership committee, there was a line at the bottom. Does anybody remember what it said? The most important member of this committee is you. Take that back to your club. You'll make Rotary grow. You'll make your club grow. You'll turn your members into Rotarians. Have a great Saturday, and thank you for coming. Thank you to the folks on Zoom.